What's up, everybody? Kafka here, and man, oh man, it was worth the hype. Path of Exile 2 has been such a good time. In the first 16 hours I played, literally had so much fun. We had a ton of people join the Twitch and YouTube chat. I really appreciate it. We're streaming again tonight, but I want to talk about a couple things of why I really am enjoying this game and my three thoughts real quick. And then we're going to get into the Sorcerer build and then just some couple tips that I've found out that really helped me out from people that are in chat. We had a bunch of people in there and I really appreciate everyone being there. All right, so the Sorcerer real quick, before we get into that, this game is absolutely beautiful. So look at this. This is a town. We're riding on this giant sled that's being pulled by these guys on the end here. Look at this. How detailed is this? This is beautiful. This is an absolute gem. Everything you do in this game is really feels like it makes a difference. So every skill point you put in, every new piece of gear you put on, every time you go into the past skill tree, support gems, regular uncut skill gems, everything seems very meaningful. And not only that, the boss fights are fantastic. They're very hard for some of them. I'm enjoying them a ton. I'm not used to playing a game where it is a bit more difficult because I've been playing Diablo 4 for over a year and a half now. So this has been such a good experience so far and I can't wait to continue to play. All right, so let's talk about the Sorceress. So the Sorceress so far. So let's talk about just like leveling up. You're going to get ability called Flame Wall. So this is an ability you're going to want to use an uncut skill gem very early on to get. And once you get that, you're going to want to pair it with Spark. So basically what happens is your projectiles, and I'm going to show it on the screen here, your projectiles will go through the flame wall and become fire projectiles. So that early on does a ton of damage and it really helped me out. So one thing you need to make sure though, and this is a quick tip, is when you press this little arrow key right here, it shows which weapon you're using. So I was messing this up at the beginning. I think Spanky or Demon or someone like that in chat was telling me that you got to make sure this is checked correctly. So right here, I have my lightning staff on, which I need an upgrade because this is absolutely horrible. And then this one, I have my fire staff on. So I want to make sure that this little box right here is checked to 1. So I use this staff when I'm casting Spark. Now, when I'm using Flame Wall, it needs to use this staff. So this switches over. Now I'm using the fire staff, which does a ton more damage. So that's a key thing. So what I did notice about the skills, when you actually, we'll pull it up like this menu. So it does make these recommendations and the recommendations are pretty good. So I'm going to show you my support skills that I'm currently using with my skills. And I basically what I do is I move these around until my main ability has the most DPS here. So this says 124 DPS. I'm currently using Arcane Tempo for more cast speed. And then I'm using Arcane Surge for more cast speed and mana regeneration. I am using Ice Nova and I like having do more freeze. I don't cast it very often, but I do often cast it. It does do freeze more often. So then I like to use Flame Wall, and Flame Wall, this makes it a circle fortress instead of just one wave, which is really nice when you're casting Spark through it. And then I'm using Unleash on this item. We are using Frost Bomb, and then this has a chance to ignite Frost Bomb, which does more damage. And then it has a bigger area effect as well because the circle is really small on Frost Bomb, so I do like that. And then on Spark, we're using Chain, so it hits more enemies. And then we're also using Pierce, so it pierces through them. So currently, Arc is my best ability. You can put these two on Spark if you're in the beginning phase of the game and to get more damage on that because you might not have Arc yet. So I would take these and put them on Spark to help you out with DPS. When you get an uncut skill gem, you want to make sure you level up the skills you're using the most. So if I hover over my skill, my Spark is level 5. My flame wall's level 6, and now currently I'm using arc. Arc is a very, very good skill. I think I got it around level 18, and this skill right here is like my new damage dealer skill. It's really good against trash mobs, and I used flame wall, spark, and frost bomb until I got this, and now I'm mainly using arc and frost bomb to do the most of my damage. Frost bomb's kind of a little tricky to use because it basically has a duration for 3 seconds, then it explodes. But currently I'm doing the most DPS. You can see right here, 99 DPS with arc. So let me show you guys real quick. So you can see if I switch this to 2, the DPS goes down. So we want to make sure that's unclicked. It goes back to 99. See, it was 48. And I click it and it's 99. So you have to make sure you're doing that or you're losing a lot of DPS. So with that, it's actually a really easy way to test your weapons. So say I got another lightning staff, I could go ahead and put that staff in there, and now it will tell me if it has more DPS for my spells. So this is a great way to test and see if you're not sure just by looking at the stats, if you're going to do more damage using that weapon. So you could just put it in. Oh, that's only 48. Oh no, we don't want that. Let's put it back, and then we'll put it in the second slot. Now when you want to upgrade an item, it makes it a little bit easier for you. Also, a couple stats that I found that is really important for Sorceress. One is energy shield. This is this little shield right here. See, I got 235 energy shield with 367 life. Very important stat, and that has helped me out a ton, increasing energy shield. And then also life regeneration per second. This has helped out a ton too. So I have 4.3 on my helm, I have 3 on my chest, and then I have 5.6 on my boots. So my life regeneration is actually really good. One thing I just need to upgrade right now is the staff. My staff is actually really bad. So I will talk about crafting just for a second. Crafting is really good in POE2. Crafting early on is totally fine. We're gonna farm all these crafting nodes for a long time, so make sure that you're doing crafting early on. I think I made this staff, and this staff was a normal staff, and I was able to make it into this staff. So I think crafting is key. If you get something really good, and you notice that your damage is going up because you have it, try to craft better stats on it. So I don't think that at level 20 or level 30, you're going to be wasting mats, because in end game, you're going to get a ton of those mats anyways. So I think it's a good idea to do as much crafting as possible to help you progress and kill these bosses. Cause like I said, these bosses are actually pretty hard. So something else that helped me out a bit too is when you talk to the vendors, they have items. So a lot of times they'll have items like this. This one's the gamble vendor. I only got lucky once on the gamble vendor, so I don't use the gamble vendor too often, but I do check generally when I go back to town, because it seems like it resets. All right. And I know a lot of you guys are playing Sorceress. So if there's anything that you're doing, please comment down below. I would love to hear anything that's working well for you. I'm sure the community would love to hear it. So please leave a comment on what you guys are doing, and we're going to build off of that. Let's build the strongest sorcerers we could. Every 30 minutes or so, I do check and see if there's any items that would be good for me. So there usually is item level closer to your level. So if I find a lightning staff here, I want to try to buy this and then craft on it to make it better. So there's no lightning staff there because I'm going lightning build and nothing yet. So we'll see if there's any rings too. I don't have any rings yet, but I know that there was rings in different vendors. So you want to check that as well. Quick tip, the hooded one could identify your items. So every time you go back to town, just use him to identify your items. That happens after Act 1. So I use that all the time. I'm currently level 21 in Act 2. I think I'm really close to doing my trial ascension. So I'm excited about that as well. And let's talk about the passive skill tree. So I think that the passive skill tree, once you do the passive skill tree, you got 2 ways to do it. You could do it for leveling, and I'm kind of doing it to get more power and energy shield. So energy shield is the nodes I'm going for, and I went straight up because I am looking to get to this node. We can zoom out as much as possible here. So I basically skipped a lot of good stuff that I'll probably come back to, but I really want this node because I'm going all lightning at the moment. So this has a ton of lightning damage, and then it says 2% increased lightning damage per 10 intelligence, which is absolutely phenomenal. So I have 35% lightning, actually, I'm sorry, 70% extra lightning damage just with this. And this is early game, guys. So this is going to really stack. And then there's a lot of other mana things you could get to actually increase. Converts all energy shield to mana. Ooh. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you could do. So we're going to try it out. So if you do mess up and you need to respec, there is a vendor, or is it the hooded one? I forget now. Refund passives. So let's just say I need to refund this passive. It costs 309. So a little bit expensive. So you want to try to do it right at the beginning. But if you already went somewhere in a different direction and you're not sure about it, I would just wait until the end, and then when you have a lot more gold, I'm sure it's going to be a little bit easier. So everything's 309 for me. We're going to check and see how much it goes up each level. I wonder if it goes up each time you get a level. So 309, I only have 3,100 gold because I went and bought some random stuff and it wasn't great. But that's kind of where I'm at in the POE2. Like I said, I am absolutely loving the game. Yesterday we had our biggest reach on stream that we've ever had. We have over 17 people stop by, 1,700, actually 2,000 people with Twitch stop by the stream. So really excited about that. Really trying to make YouTube 5,000 subs by the end of the year. We're getting close. So hopefully we could do that. So if you want to see more content of POE2, we are going to be playing it because we absolutely are loving it. Kafka here. Make sure to like the video. Help me out. Like the video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.